are Dennis Leonard's initials. DL can also stand for disabled list, something Dennis Leonard became all too familiar with the past 3 years. Leonard's now back in the big leagues, and Saturday he debuted again in top form. More from CNN's Craig Sager.
The last time Leonard started a game was May 28, 1983. On a pitch to Cal Ripken, Leonard collapsed to the ground with a torn tendon below his left knee. 4 operations and 3 painful years of rehabilitation later, Leonard had a new start. He retired Toronto in the first inning, getting Rance Mulniks on a strikeout. At one point, Leonard retired 18 in a row, but the Blue Jays' Jim Acker was matching his shutout innings. In the top of the 7th, Lonnie Smith preserved Leonard's shutout attempt with a diving catch off the bat of Willie Upshaw. Smith was helped off the field. The shutout remained. In the bottom of the 8th, with 2 outs, the Royals' George Orta greeted reliever Don Gordon with a line drive off the right field fence. That brought home Buddy Biancalana with KC's only run of the game. It was up to Leonard to make it stand, which he did by striking out Mulniks to end the game. A 1-0 victory, a 3-hitter, and the 22nd shutout of Leonard's career.
If he can keep pitching like that, I'll start him every 3rd day. He's going to get a lot of work this year. He's going to run back up over 300 innings like he used to pitch. Yeah, he's something.
You know, to make the team #1 was gratifying. Now to have the opportunity to come back, start a game was great, but to do it here in Kansas City in front of hometown fans and the way the results were, I mean, it was a perfect script. I'm just glad I was part of it.
Craig Sager, CNN Sports.
Well, Leonard's strong performance just makes KC's talented pitching even stronger and may rekindle the Royals' interest in trading a pitcher for a big hitter. In Oakland this afternoon, this man, Joaquin Andujar, made his debut as an A, and because of that 5-game suspension after that argument with this man, Don Deckinger, in Game 7 of the World Series, is just now making his debut. And the only thing that got ejected from the stadium today were some of Andujar's pitches. Bob Boone, kind of a chip shot that clears the wall. 5-3 California leads in the 4th. Yes, it was Cap Day, and the fans were waving bye-bye to the baseball, and Reggie Jackson said bye-bye to Andujar. He was taken out of the game after Jackson unloaded Reggie's 3rd homer of the year, the 533rd of his career. Reggie now only 1 behind Jimmy Fox in 6th place on the all-time home run list. In the Metrodome, a pair of tape measure home runs, one by Gorman Thomas, the other by rookie slugger Danny Tartabull, as Seattle blew out the Twins. Yankees are off to their best start in a decade, now 4-1 after drilling Milwaukee. Texas is tied for 1st. Of course, they're tied with 3 other teams. They beat Baltimore for the 2nd straight day. Revenge for the Tribe as Cleveland snaps a 3-game losing streak. Ken Schramm picks up his 2nd win of the season. And in Chicago, the White Sox win their 1st game of the year. Chicago was off to its worst start in a dozen years, but Tom Seaver picked up the victory, his 305th.
The National League got the national playoff sweep suffered weekend, and in case they're not on for a couple of weeks, they decided to hog the airways. What started out as a matter-of-fact pitching performance by a comebacking Steve Carlton broke loose in the late innings and threatened to never end. It was a wild one. New York came from behind, and Ray Knight helped. This blooper will drop over Reedus' head. They score a couple. They go on to take a 7-4 lead. The Phils used 22 players, had nothing left on the bench, but tied the game and sent it to extra innings at 7-all. Tim Tuffle in the 14th inning will single home Wally Backman. The Mets have an 8-7 lead. It looked like they'd finally win it. But the bases are loaded. Steve Jeltz at the plate. Jeltz had hit a 2-run triple in the 9th to send it to extra innings. Now he knocks in the run that finally ends it. More than 5 hours after it began, the Phillies overcome the Mets 9-8. St. Louis, the only unbeaten team in baseball, and when John Tudor is pitching in Busch Stadium, they're hard to beat. He's won 18 in a row, hasn't lost in nearly a year at home. He also knocked in a pair of runs. Pittsburgh gets a 3-run homer with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th to beat the Cubs 3-1. At the Astrodome, the Braves in town, Rick Mahler was working on his 15th straight scoreless inning. He had pitched a shutout in the opener, but the bases were loaded. Craig Reynolds at the plate, and a hanging curve gets hung to dry over the wall in right field, clears the bases for a grand slam. And Houston comes from a 2-0 deficit to win 4-3 over the visiting Braves. They're in the 6th. Fernando Valenzuela nursing a 3-1 lead over San Francisco, and San Diego is throwing a shutout at Cincinnati as they head to the 8th. 2-0. One more down on the Reds. Their former slugger Ted Kluszewski suffered a heart attack Friday. He is listed in stable condition in a Tampa hospital. And we hope the best for Ted Kluszewski.
Indeed.